Well, in this series of videos, I know I've been drinking this hot cocoa. How do you like that for day after day videos? Hot cocoa part 1, 2, and 3. Maybe that'll be the title. I don't know. So, my hot cocoa's almost gone, and it's almost 10 after 1. So, this will probably be my last video clip outside the library right now today. So I'm going to finish this hot cocoa, then I will be stopping the camera. I'll be loading up the laptop and all the stuff I need in there for editing, and in case I decide to film any little shots in the library. I don't film too much in the library because it's a library, you know. And I was a fairly older person. I don't know what the rules are in libraries nowadays, but libraries were always quiet as a kid growing up. You're always trained to be be quiet in the library so people can read and not be distracted. And I get it. That's why now I think in the newer libraries they have these private rooms that they seem like they're pretty well insulated for sound too. Because I've went by some of them and see people in there talking to them. You don't really hear much noise, so they've done a good job building them, dampening sound or whatever. Of course, I don't know the people I hang around with. We get one of those rooms. I think people might hear us through the walls a little bit. We get pretty excited and have fun talking to each other. Well, and when I have had friends come visit me, and I haven't had a room yet here, one of those private rooms, and I've had people come visit at the library, and luckily I'm in the very far corner by the fireplace, and sometimes because, we get talking about stuff, and I can't help but joke around and stuff, and I get people laughing. Well, when people laugh, they kind of lose control of their volume, but it's a good thing. Hopefully it's a good thing. I haven't had no librarians tell me to shush it up yet, but I don't know if they're teeter-tottering on it, like, well, he's getting a lot more people to come to the library. But they are starting to get a little noisy. The only thing I've seen the librarians do is like if little kids are like just running around really fast and hooting and hollering or something, they'll say something to the little kids like, hey, slow down, walk. They don't tell them to be quiet so much. They just tell them to slow down and not be running. And then one day I did see some kids that in their computer room, they've got computers back to back. Like I'm going to say there's probably 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say there's 10, 12 computers that are back to back, 5 or 6 on each side. And it's in a separate room that's got like some glass doors they can close off, to like kind of partition it in case it was busy in there, so they could quiet it down so it doesn't get out in the rest of the library. But there were some kids in there that were on the computers. I don't know if they're playing games or whatnot. And then there's some of their friends that I don't know if they had brought in one of those little small scooters that they set in there with them so they didn't have to leave it outside to get stolen or something. And they started zipping around in there, going around all the computer tables. And there was other people, not many, but there was like 1 or 2 other people I think that were on computers in there, so it wasn't just their friends, which they shouldn't be zipping around on the scooters in there anyway. But then the librarian went in and told them, hey, you can't be riding those in here. Don't do that, And then they listened. They didn't do it no more. But that just goes to show you how kids, their mind, they start thinking, oh, that'd be fun. Let's do it. Not thinking about they shouldn't do it, Some kids do, but sometimes it's not. Even if a kid's been raised well, it's not their fault. Sometimes your brain just takes over and it gets tunnel vision like, would be fun. Well, I've seen a thing people kind of promote in our area with the snow and stuff. If you see somebody whipping donuts and stuff in the parking lot, don't be so hard on them like, hey, they're driving recklessly or something, because that could be somebody that's a newer driver. It could be kids just horsing around having fun, but it also could be somebody that's having fun but learning how to control the slide of their car. And if they're doing it in a parking lot where there ain't no cars or something like that, good, because it will teach them how that car slides and handles. And if they come close to a snowbank, they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to hit that snowbank, and they learn to judge the sliding and stuff better. So when it does help you, I did it a lot when I was younger, and it did help me learn how far you slide and the different slipperinesses and how far you slide, and when it's not as slippery that it kind of drags you to stop quicker or whatever. So yeah, there's some good stuff in it too. It ain't just horsing around, even though I'm sure some kids go into it thinking they're just horsing around without even realizing they're learning something, That's what you call a sneaky education. Then when I got a Jeep Grand Cherokee that was all four-wheel drive, all-time four-wheel drive, what an experience that was. I've had a 4x4 pickup truck, a F-150 Super Cab, and that got through the snow pretty good and had decent meaty tires on it and stuff and good lift. But I'll tell you what, man, that Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, man, I did a lot of research on them before I got one of those. It was a used one. But they're built strong for rollovers and stuff because they're made for rock climbing and stuff. And even when you buy it, well, the new ones aren't as good, in my opinion. Not my favorite are first gens are nice too, but my favorite are the 99 to 2004 series. I don't know if I think that's second gen or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember. My brain's a little foggy right now. They're the RJs or whatever. And I had the V8 instead of the 6-cylinder. Amazing, that thing in the snow. And I've been in Minnesota all my life and driven different vehicles in the snow. Front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive. And even though my Ford F-150 Super Cab went through the snow pretty good, and the back end, because the pickup truck would be lighter, so it'd slide around you a little more, so I'd put salt or sandbags in the back to get a little more weight for traction and stuff. But I'm telling you, the Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited I had, Jeep Grand Cherokee though, the wheelbase, and with it being four-wheel drive, all-time four-wheel drive, and in our slippery weather and roads, just like any other car, it's still going to stop the same. It's still going to slide if you're hitting the brakes and stuff. But as for its ability under power when you're putting power through the drivetrain, it just pulls you through corners, and it just went through the snow and everything so much better than any vehicle I've ever driven, and was just so much more responsive and stuff. I got hooked. So in the future, once I get a home base set up here in the area and start doing, because I'm going to travel in the RV once I get my home base set up here. My plan is to start traveling, and God's going to send me to meet more people. I know He is. And I will help those people in the way that God sends me to go meet them and help them, And I'm doing it right now, even though I'm in a tough situation. So many people I've met right now that are the people I've been meeting, I've been introducing myself on purpose, and that's people that are living in their RVs or their cars or whatever, because that's what I'm feeling called to do right now, and that's the situation I'm in. And they accept me much better than I don't want to say a normal person, but I think you understand what I'm saying, that because they realize I'm living in my RV too, so to them, they're like, oh, he's one of me, I can talk to him, And I've met some really cool people and people that aren't living the RV life too, but I've been staying real active with the whole community since I've moved back this way, since the founder job. Super active in the community. Super active. Dun, 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 dun. And getting a lot of wonderful results with people I meet and talk to. And I just met a guy last night that I've met before, but we've never really talked. We've just all saying, waving hi to each other, saying hi if we pass each other by, and he's from the area, so I see him and his girlfriend or whatever. A little older than me. Nothing wrong with that. Really good. And actually, I think he might look a little, I don't know, but look better than me, but he don't have as much gray as me. And he's older, dang it, that ain't fair. Anyway, and we got talking in Holiday the other day, and I think I talked about it a little bit in my video from the other night. And they got these like 3 little chairs and a little counter there, and we just I started talking to him, and then actually he gave me a couple tips on a couple different, just telling him, sharing a little more of my situation, what's going on, because he's seen me in the camper numerous times and stuff. and telling them I was out of work and still looking for work. And I said, I'm surprised no one's hired me yet. It's not like I don't know. I have a lot of skills, and a good work ethic and good work history. So I said, I'm really shocked that I haven't been hired somewhere. And I really do. I almost feel like it's God saying no. Because if I was hired from this job, then I wouldn't have been there to help that person. Or if I was hired from that job, I wouldn't be there to help this person or something. So I don't know why it's all happening, but I'm taking it for what it is and learning from it and doing the best I can. And it's been a good experience, even though it's been very stressful in financial ways. But I got talking to him, and he just started talking to me about his life and his son and all that stuff. It was great. It was wonderful. A great conversation. We were both sharing stuff in that, and I could see him enjoying talking to me, and I was enjoying talking to him. So it was really cool. That was the first time me and him ever sat down and talked. And I was there for like 2 hours inside the store, just because me and him were BSing. And then some of the other workers, they would talk to and get involved a little bit, but they were not as much because they had work to do. But so we were having community happening right inside the store, and I like that I can be part of creating that, because that's kind of how it used to be on the Andy Griffith Show. Now, for any of you younger people, they're like, what's he talking about? YouTube Andy Griffith Show. You can start watching some old episodes. Pretty good show with some pretty decent morals, One of the best, though. If you have never seen it, it's an old black and white comedy series called The Beverly Hillbillies. Gold humor. Just wonderful. Great show. Beverly Hillbillies, YouTube it. Watch some. If you got to be able to have an open mind for hillbilly humor, and then moving to Hollywood and stuff. Funny stuff, Especially for how long ago it was filmed and those writers and what they put together. Funny stuff, Great characters, too. Anyway, I don't want to get on that too much. How much I got left in my hot cocoa here? It's getting empty. It's getting close. Hello. So, I've been getting to talk and share time with a lot of people that I know if I was working a job, which I want to do because I got to make money. And Lord, I've been enjoying this experience, even though I've had my crying times and tough times. But I'm asking you, Lord, guide me to the right job, or have these attorneys help me out so things go through. My unemployment's been set out for another little over 2 weeks, so that won't be happening for at least another 2-3 weeks before that, even if I win it, can go through. So that ain't happening yet. Either that, or Lord, guide me to the job, or send the job to me, or the other attorneys with the estate stuff would be wonderful. If that got settled, that would help me a lot. That would actually help me get set up in place quicker too. And guide me on a good path, Lord. I know you already got me on one. Sorry, I got sidetracked there with God. I hope you're okay with that. That's me being me. Anyway, sorry to you. Sorry, God, I'm going to go back to them. Gosh, I got to divide my time. Oh, hey, there's one of those Tesla trucks, the black one, getting ready to pull in here. So, in this experience, I'm trying to take it as positive as I can, even though I've had many a tough days where it's gotten emotional for me. But so far, God has been providing, and it's amazing that I'm surviving. It's not because God. That's why it's not amazing, but yet it is. From a human's perspective, it's amazing. But the closer you get to God, you realize it's not amazing, and that's probably why I'm so calm in this situation of not knowing how tomorrow's going to happen, or running low on diesel net. But it's all gonna. There's a reason for it all. I just know it. And I'm taking it all in, and I've had people that I know if I wasn't in the situation I'm in, I wouldn't have met some of these people. And I am very thankful that these different people have opened up to me personally in their own ways and shared personal stuff with me. Each one of them has shared different stuff with me, some of them have really opened up to me, and some of their heartaches, and stuff, and I let them know as they're telling me this and then whether they apologize or I go, I can't believe I'm sharing this with you or telling you this. It's okay. That's why God brought us together. I know it, and thank you for sharing it with me. That means a lot to me. That tells me you sense something in me that makes you feel okay to share these personal things with me. So I value when anybody's sharing anything with me, because it's showing me how they feel, and that they can trust me or whatever, that they feel something spiritually, that they can let this stuff out. It's wonderful. I've had some just amazingly wonderful conversations and met some amazingly wonderful people that are new friends in my life, and they'll always be my friends. Even if their life takes them this way or me that way, they will always be my friend and in my heart. And hopefully I'll be able to keep in touch with them throughout the years, even if our lives go different ways. Hopefully every once in a while, or once a year, every couple of years or something, we're able to get a hold of each other, say hi, or meet up and have lunch together, or go do something or whatever, or get online and chat or something, whatever. I used to do that with my other phone number list. I had at one point when I was in my teens, before I got into my 20s, I had a 2,000 number phone list, about 2,000 different people or more on my 5.5-inch floppy from my dad's compact computer. And then when I got different computer towers and stuff, I would transfer that data. I'd try to copy that all over. In the beginning it was harder because I had to actually manually do it all. But then once we got to copy paste kind of stuff, it got a lot easier. And now with cell phones and stuff, I never got all the numbers in my cell phone, but I don't think I'll ever get those numbers back again now. All that stuff's kind of taken away or gone. But anyway, this has all been wonderful, even though it's been a very hard testing experience so far, and I don't even know how much longer it's going to last, or if it's going to get worse. I hope it doesn't get worse. I was just talking to God about that today, that please, don't, whatever this is all about, or whatever's going on, or however it's working, I hope it's just all the way, it's up and better from here. I've been out of work long enough. I've been amazingly surviving the winter, thank you, Lord. And please, Lord, have the goodness come through. I have done my best to set pride aside and accept help, and even ask for help, and people have been helping me. But I'd like to start succeeding on my own effort and stuff, or with God. I don't mean to discount you at all, Lord. I ain't taking nothing out of your hands, let me tell you. But you understand what I'm saying. I just, yeah, because I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate all the help I've been getting, and it's who I am too, and I'm smart with really budgeting tight when I'm in this tough situation, and I don't go all haywire with stuff either. Oh my goodness, I'm getting long again. Here we go. Let me see. Hello. Oh, that's pretty empty. It's almost empty, but hey, thanks for watching and listening to me talk about different stuff. I don't even remember what all I talked about in these last few videos. I'll try to catch some of it when I'm editing, so I can come up with titles for them. And thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. It's free. Helps me grow. Unless you don't like me, then I guess you don't have to. But even if you don't like me, it's okay if you want to help. So anyway, thanks for watching. God bless you and yours. I hope your days are getting brighter and better. And run to God and talk to Him more and more. Every day, talk to Him as much as you can. Get closer to Him. You'll start seeing how much things change. Shine your light and the darkness will go away. See you on the next one.